Did the Chinese ever fight for Singapura? One fiction played by the PAP is that the Chinese community fought the Japanese in World War II in defense of Singapura. They claimed that this loyalty to Singapura led to the Japanese massacring between 25,000 to 50,000 Chinese in a genocide known as Suqing. So is it true? Did the genocide happen? Did the Chinese defend Singapura? Yes and no. The Japanese military did commit a genocide of the Chinese in Singapura in 1942. Thousands of Chinese were gunned down in the most brutal fashion. Now, it is true that some Chinese were recruited into a defense force known as Del Force. Many Chinese leaders extolled the courage of the Del Force troops. Lee Kuan Yew recounted that Del Force were a legend, a name synonymous with bravery. But did the Chinese really fight for Singapura? And was that why the Japanese targeted them? No, they did not. The Chinese did not fight for Singapura. They fought for China, as detailed by Blackburn and Chu in their article, Del Force at the Fall of Singapore in 1942. The Chinese community joined Del Force as part of their defense of their motherland, China. The fight in Singapura was simply to open another front to help defend their Chinese motherland. The Chinese community in Singapore had spent 5 years raising money for China's war against Japan. They raised millions. It was only when Japan was at Singapore's door that they, with the help of the British, tried to organize a small fighting force. And what happened when the Japanese started to hit them with artilleries? According to a Del Force member, that there were few dead, but more who ran away. They ran even though they were not directly hit. So no, they did not fight for Singapura. And what about Suqing? It had nothing to do with this small group that did not really fight. In fact, the Japanese had little concern for them. Historians noted that Suqing was not launched as a retaliation against the Chinese volunteers, as they inflicted very few casualties due to their numbers being so small. In fact, among the local units described in the official Japanese war history series, Del Force is not mentioned. So yes, there was a massacre of the Chinese community by the Japanese during the occupation. But no, it had nothing to do with their courage or defense of Singapura. It was purely because of their loyalty and support for their motherland, China.